In my chapter called Political Games, I try to briefly outline the dominance of the ruling Liberal Democratic Party and the significance the Olympics had for Prime Minister Abe. I guess it is safe to say that one of his key political missions for many years has been to revise Japan's constitution, a constitution that has never been changed once since its enactment in 1947. And Abe, being a traditional conservative politician with strong patriotic tendencies and sometimes bordering on nationalism, Abe and his party have clearly said that what they want is a truly Japanese constitution, not a constitution that was written by a foreign power, aka the US occupational forces. The year 2020 and the Olympics seemed like a great setup for such an unprecedented political effort. The government's ad agencies and spin doctors designed 2020 as this key year for Japan, a year of momentous events with the world looking on as Japan reinvigorates itself. But without the Olympics and under the Corona spell, this huge political enterprise has lost most of its momentum. Abe's handling of the Corona crisis and some domestic issues have deflated his popularity. And without the Olympics, it seems like a key emotional stimulant to mobilize a majority of voters for constitutional revision has disappeared. I'm not good at predicting politics, but right now my money is on without Olympics, there's no constitutional revision. My chapter tries to give a glimpse into the political world of Japan and into the present ambitions of its dominant party, the LDP. This party has been in power for more than 60 of the last 65 years. That's quite some achievement, isn't it? Such an achievement has many reasons, of course, but one clearly is the failure of the opposition to offer an alternative that would convince nonpartisan voters and those who are not interested in or frustrated by politics as usual. So what we find now in the political sphere of 2020 Japan is low voter turnout. About half of all eligible Japanese forego their right to vote. An opposition that is split into a handful of smaller parties, very volatile. And a ruling coalition dominated by the LDP, but also kept in power by the smaller Clean Government Party, Komeito in Japanese, the junior coalition partner. The Clean Government Party provides organized votes that make all the difference in many electoral districts. Without Komeito, many Liberal Democrats wouldn't be able to win their seats. And this ruling coalition, it's very important to understand, has a firm grip on state resources. And if you adopt the analogy of patron and client, the ruling parties as patrons make sure that their clients are exclusively served. And those civil society and interest groups not supporting the government are left out. And political science, but I think also common sense tells us that ruling parties have a considerable advantage because of their access to state resources. So a broader political issue for Japan's democracy these days is that there is no alternation in power. Half of the people don't care or have given up on politics. And the LDP even profits from low interest in what it does. None of this is healthy for a democracy. The postponement of the Olympics has a huge impact on the government, but this impact is difficult to separate from the impact of the coronavirus. Constitutional reform seems close to impossible for the time being. The Prime Minister's popularity is way down, as is the support for his cabinet. The mass media are full of stories and comments that question the decision to hold the Olympics in 2021. And some demand lean Olympics at lower costs. There are some opposition politicians running on a platform that says, let's cancel the Olympics altogether. The LDP cannot really dissolve the lower house and call elections while the virus is still out there, which is another new situation for the dominant party. So all in all, the Olympic delay and the virus have, I think, displayed a tedious and suboptimal crisis management. on the part of the Prime Minister, and potential successors are already preparing to enter the stage, while I think Abe may well become a lame duck.